Gamer's Grass also has Tufts.
Spiky bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Baer from SpikyBits.com, and we are checking out Tufts from Gamer's Grass. Now, who knew? Not only do they have a great line of battle-ready bases, but they have an even bigger line of Tufts in all shapes, sizes, and colors, believe it or not. So here's their site, gamersgrass.com, and you can see right across the top here, they've got all sorts of categories that are full of all of the things you're going to need. They got special tufts where they really get into those crazy colored and also thicker, spikier tufts, spiky tufts. And then the sets of grass, as well as their whole line of battle-ready bases. But we're not really going to talk about that right now. We want to take a look at the grass and the special tufts. Now, their tufts come in all different sizes, from 6 mLs all the way up to 8 to 12 to even thicker. The specialty stuff comes even bigger. And what I personally like, and I think this is a great starting point for a lot of folks out there, may be these tuft sets. Now, they sent over a bunch of these sets and also the singles, the smalls, for us to show you all and actually use. So I have a commission piece here we're actually doing for a buddy of mine, and we're gonna use those sets on it today. So you're gonna get a first-hand look at how to use these sets, because I was like, oh, that's a great idea. We're actually gonna use the marshland set, and as you can see, it's a mix of the different types of I think there's 4 different ones. Yeah, there you can see right there. Now, if you're wondering, like, you can't really kind of tell from the screen how many items you're getting here. It just has a brief overview. If you click on it and kind of go into the item here, it will show you exactly what you get, the sizes you get, the number and the count of tufts you get right here. So you can kind of see, oh, I get 4 different sheets, and some are a little smaller than others. That's kind of neat. And then it kind of shows you how the package comes. So there's a lot of information in this site, believe it or not. It's done very well. I'm sure there's a lot of tracking and such on it too. And then you've got, of course, a description right here. So it's a neat little way to kind of get some ideas potentially for products or for projects. Now, they also have the special tufts, which I thought were really cool, and we're going to show you some of those. So you got the spiky tufts, which are a little bit taller, a little bit rougher, kind of some stuff that it might not be for everybody, but it's definitely going to probably be for larger pieces, because you're talking a 12 ml piece, piece right here, and then you've got different ones. So that's probably more for like terrain and such or night bases or something like that. Maybe not so much for your normal rank and file troops. And then you've got the alien tufts, which are also on here. And for the price point, like, let's just say, okay, here's this crazy blue. Now let's click on pink. You sold me with pink. Or is it salmon? Who knows? But look at what you get in here, okay? So you get a large sheet. You're gonna get 70 tufts. It's only $5. $5 US. That seems really good, like a really good price for a specialty tuft, a color that you don't necessarily see off the shelf a lot of times, but something that's kind of really cool right there, and you can see exactly how it's going to come straight to your door, or if you pick it up at a local retailer. And that's another thing I wanted to show you real quick, and they actually wanted me to talk about this, which I thought was a great point. They love working directly with the game store, because it all starts and ends with the game store. You can have the best products in the world, but if people don't see it, and if people don't hear from their friends and see it on the tabletops, whether it's at a tournament or a game store, or even stock it at the local game store, people are 100 times more likely to buy something if they can physically put it in their hands. I'm not a retailologist, but I do pretty well, and having stores all over the globe to stock the stuff, because somebody in Australia might be like, oh wait, do I want to mail order this from Europe? Maybe not. But if there's stores in Europe, or stores in Australia, that are already carrying it, even New Zealand, look at that. It's a really good thing. Gamer's Grass is doing it right by focusing on the stores. Of course, if the stores don't have it, you can hit up their site. We're there right now. You know where to go. But just keep that in mind. They've got many stores here in the States, but they're also growing. Actually, if you zoom in, and this is a lot more stores up here in the Northeast, go figure. But they're always adding stores, and I imagine once we start sharing this out on our social medias and channels, that hopefully we'll get them a lot more stores here in the States to start carrying their products as well, because I think between the bases and the tufts, they've got a really good thing going on. So real quick, before we jump into the tutorial part, I wanted to show you some of these sets. So here's your spiky tufts. This is a large spiky green tuft, and as you can tell, it's pretty significantly big. Like, this is an orc. This is an orc with a spiky tuft. Like, it's big. There's, what, 70 of these in a package, which is really, really cool. I feel like here's that set that we're going to actually use today. It comes with 4 different little sticker strips of that. Then you've got some of your crazy alien colors here. This is Alien Turquoise 6mm, so not quite as big as some of the other stuff. And then you've got even smaller 144 of these bad boys right here. This is the Mixed Green 6mm. So there's a lot of different sizes, and I mean, these basically a blob stuck together, whereas these might be more single and more linear. So, and then you've got the mixed flower set, which is really, really cool. I wouldn't use maybe all of these on one thing, but you could definitely use these to accent a lot of different terrain pieces and such. Like, I'm going to clear this because I got to reposition the light, so I didn't blind you showing you this, but I want to show you some close-ups of some other models and then get into the tutorial itself. So here's a better look at some of the products, a little bit more up close and out of the packaging here. You can see that they started to mix up kind of in the bag, but if you have that problem, you can just kind of brush them off or pick them out. Either way, when you hit it with a little matte coat, it'll probably kind of come together. Or if you're concerned with that, you can do PVC or PVA glue mixed with water and kind of spray it on there. I don't know if any of that's really super necessary because all the stuff's going to get mixed up. So there's your crazy flowers. And one of the reasons you might want crazy flowers is if you're going for, like a crazy look on your base here. I had to use some older Gale Force 9 Woodland Scenics kind of technique right here. It wasn't exactly the greatest, but if I had these, I would have definitely preferred something like that on my Draco. So, fast forward to now, we have all sorts of crazy options available out there to us, which is really neat to see. And there you go. I'm going to have this all over my sweatshirt today, though that's okay. So here's the marshland set, and it's got a bunch of different kind of combinations on here, and they give you on the back of the package here an idea of kind of how to stagger them. Like, you've got these ones right here, which I guess are that, and then you've got some of the burnt ones back here, so they give you a little bit of a guide on kind of how to do it. And I've got this base, this larger 160 or 170 mil base for a night commission that I'm just gonna put them on. Now I've already done the legs here, so I know where that's going to go. So step 1 in any tutorial, or in our tutorial on how to tuft your bases, is figure out where your feet are going to go and then work kind of around that. And step 2 is get out your tools. So you're going to need some tweezers. You're going to need maybe an X-Acto just to kind of press down with things. Some PVA glue is always good. I tell people don't use super glue on this stuff, and PVA glue is basically, I thought I had it up. PVA glue is basically Elmer's glue, and you can get this at back to school time here in the States. I literally go to the store. I don't know why, but I always end up there, and I get like 6 of these for $0.25, and it lasts me a year on all my projects. You can get it by the gallon if you require a lot more. But the cool thing about these tufts, and they wanted me to mention this too, is that they're self-adhesive. Now, they say on it, for a more permanent fix, use PVA glue. Me personally, I'm probably just going to use PVA glue, but let's see what kind of stuff we're working with here. And I've got my little diagram right here, so we're going to pick one of these out with the tweezers, and we want to go towards the front where these are definitely going to get seen, and we'll put those down. And what I like to do with the knife is use it to kind of, oh, that's pretty adhesive, to be quite honest. That's shockingly adhesive. I did not expect that to be that adhesive, so maybe there's something to that. Okay, well, let's keep going. That's crazy. Well, let's just do one just to show you with the PVA glue. Now, PVA, like I said, it's just white glue, so you're going to put a little dab off to the side here on a little, I got my little palette, and all you really need to do, it looks like you use 2 of these, so we're just going to switch the color here. I'm going to go smaller. I'm going to go, let's see, that's a bigger, so we'll go something like this big, and I'm going to make sure I get a nice, even bottom to dab onto the PVA glue, dab it off if you got a stringer, and I'm just gonna put it, oh, it wasn't flat, I'm just gonna put it right there. Maybe we'll just... now I'm messing it up. My indecision has cost me. We will just put it right there. Okay, so we're gonna put it right there, and we're gonna let it dry and mash it down with the knife. Well, that didn't work. Sometimes, and this can be a problem, is you just get a bad stick or a bad something, and you just got to try it again. And this time I'm going to make sure that we got enough clearance right there. And we're going to leave a little bit more glue on the bottom. And if there's a little bit of glue showing, that's okay. It'll dry. Y'all seen white glue dry before. It's no big deal. It's pretty much transparent. There we go. We just didn't have enough on the bottom of it. So two tufts in, that's what we're working with. And you can see the little white glue. It's helping it hold itself to there. But like I said, this one's really, I'm going to do the rest of this with a little mix of both. I want to do a little mix of both just to see, and we're going to mix it up and do the different varieties here just to give us a good, nice little pattern that really accentuates this kind of brown base right here. Okay, tweezers down. I created this base, and I think it's pretty cool looking. I ended up not using as much as the bright ones because I think it was kind of taken away, but it really seemed to kind of accentuate things right there, or accent, and using the dark ones really seemed to kind of pull it all together. So I like the little mix set. You can see what I've got left right here from the set, quite a bit, to be quite honest. You know, there's still enough for at least a few more of these night bases right here. And as far as the model itself goes, should not cover up. There we go. And it just barely missed everything, and I put a little on the rocks right there, which I thought was kind of neat, and a couple just out in the open, just pretty cool little in the cut. So overall, I think these tufts, and I pulled one off, and it was really stuck on there, and I was like, holy cow, this adhesive is bananas. But then I thought about it, and I was like, they do the battle ready bases, and they probably don't use glue. They just use the native adhesive, right, that's on here. So that being said, of course the adhesive is stronger than maybe what some of us are used to with other tufts, because they just boom, stick. They got a good stick to it, which is incredible. So I don't think personally you need to PVA glue. That particular one that I glued still isn't quite dry, and honestly it feels a little bit looser than the other ones. But I don't know, only time will tell, and we won't exactly be able to say live right here, but I'll try to remember to leave it in the comments below, so at least we know that. So that's it for this one. I think all of their tufts are great, and they have such a variety already coming out of the gate, and I'm sure they have more sets planned for the future to go along with more battle ready base sets as well. So all in all, I think they're probably some of the best tufts we've reviewed and showed you how to use here on the channel. So make sure you check out Gamer's Grass, of course. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on all our videos.